I just want to say this first of all, and this is kind of going to be the point of where I'm going is that you choose. And I want to share a story with you today, but I want to start off with saying that you choose whether to be a good friend to one another. You choose whether you build people up or not. You choose whether you listen to your mom and dad or your elders. And you choose whether you add value in your own life and other people's life. And so I want to share a little bit today about that and just talk about making choices, because really life is kind of about choices and a lot of choices. And you'll see here on the table that I have a couple signs up here that say good and bad choices. And I'm going to show you a representation of that here in just a moment. But I want to talk a little bit about my mom and dad, because that has been someone in my life that has mentored me and allowed me and showed me what good choices and what bad choices to make in life, and sometimes even let me make bad choices so that I could learn how whenever I was put in that spot that I might make better choices. And so I think about my dad, and he had one statement that he always shared with me, and he said, "Son," he said, "always do the right thing. Always do the right thing." And I think about that, and when I was a kid, you can say that to someone, but probably I didn't always do the right thing whenever he told me that. But the great thing about it is that I got to watch my dad. And as a kid, and even growing up as an adult, I got to watch him make decisions himself. And so I got to see him make decisions that sometimes he said, well, that probably wasn't the best choice. But as I watched him over the years, I saw him make a lot of really good decisions and good choices. And so he was a great mentor to me in that model to say, do the right thing, but now let me show you that over the years. And so I had a grandfather that did the same thing. And then I had a fiery, red-headed mom that told me this. She said, "You've got to choose." And she would tell me that on several different things, but if I was ever talking about something I wanted to do, she would say, "You've got to make a choice. And you've got to either go all in on it or not." If I said, "Boy, I want to be the best at this," she'd say, "Well, then you're going to have to make a choice. And you're going to have to put out the effort, and you're going to have to want to do it." And those words resonate with me today more than they ever did even when I was 13 years old, because I remember her looking at me, and whenever she first said it, it might not have meant that much, but it does a lot now. Because as I look back on it, she was exactly right. And she still says it to me today, is that you're going to have to make a choice about this, and if you really want it, you have to go after it. And so as I think about that and just sharing a few things with you today, the word mentoring comes up a lot in my mind. And I think about the world today, and some of us in this room, and I shared my experience with my mom and dad, some of us don't always have that experience. Some of us may not get that experience in life. But I do believe this, and that is that there is probably someone in this world that can mentor us. And so it may be a school teacher, it may be a friend, it may be someone your own age that is a mentor to you. It may be a coach, it may be a teacher, it may be your pastor, it may be someone that you meet tomorrow that ends up mentoring you. But mentors are very, very important. Because when I think about this, I think about this vase that I brought today, and I think about this represents us, you and me. And as we're going through life, think about it. Life's all about choices. And as we maybe acquire a mentor, when I think about, I mentioned my mom and dad, I heard Waylon say I'd been here 23 years, which now I think I'm ancient within the school district. But I think about that, and I think about over the 23 years, I've had a lot of mentors. The individual that hired me, it was one of my mentors. Principal that was in this building when I was hired 23 years ago. This was a high school, and he was a mentor of mine. One of the coaches that worked in this building, that was the AD, he is still a mentor to me today. When I feel like I need to make a call, I can't call my dad anymore, he has passed, but I can call another individual and just talk. And that is very valuable to me, that I have that choice that I can call a mentor. So if I go back to this and I think, okay, this is, You know, this is me when I was 9, 10 years old, or when I was a teenager, and certainly we have gut instincts and times, but some choices are easy, whether it's vanilla or chocolate or strawberry. That's a pretty easy choice for most, not everyone, but for the most part that's a pretty easy choice. But some choices get harder, and some decisions are much harder in life. And whether people are putting pressure on us to do something that we know is not the right thing to do, or that we have to make a big decision and know that we need to do the right thing. Even doing the right thing sometimes comes into conflict with us inside. And so if I think about that, and I think about if this is empty and this is us, one of the jobs as a mentor is to pour into people, okay? So if I'm saying that, and we look at this arrow that's behind the glass, and I say, okay, this arrow, you know, is kind of pointing towards bad decisions right now, because that glass is pretty much empty. You've heard the saying, glass half full, glass half empty. Well, if we pour into people's life, and we look to mentor, if we look for mentors, things change a little bit. Perspective change a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, and I'm going to help share with you a little bit. Can you see that straight on? That arrow's changed a little bit. Can you get it over there? So as we get mentors or people in our life that help us make good decisions, things can change for us. Can you see that? I greatly appreciate your time today. I thank you so much for being here and being a part of this community. We're so fortunate and blessed to have the choice to live in Ozark Mountain Country and in the Branson area. So thank you for having me today.